Educational. Hello everyone! Welcome back to our channel, Ramz Tutorial Educational. If you are new here to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell icon so that you're updated in our latest tutorial. And welcome back again to Ramz Tutorial! Using the plural form of irregular nouns, as you have learned, nouns can be singular or plural. You can form the plural of some nouns or form in two other ways. Remember, my dear viewers, my dear students, once again, good day and good morning. We have two roles. Role number one. The form of some nouns are made by changing the spelling entirely. So for examples, the word child, when we form to plural, it might be children. Child, children. Take note of that. Foot, feet. Mouse, mice. Goose, geese. Remember, the form of some nouns are made by changing the spelling entirely. Just like what I said, the word child becomes children. The word foot becomes feet. Mouse becomes mice. Goose becomes geese. Irregular nouns examples, we have ox, oxen. Tooth, teeth. Man, men. Woman, women. These are some of our examples in forming irregular nouns from singular to plural. That's role number one. They generally change their spelling in forming that. We proceed to role number two. Take note of this, my dear viewers, especially students, that some nouns have plural forms that have the same spelling as their singular form. Examples: sheep, sheep. Deer, deer. Fish, fish. So, dear Ram, I have a question. Yes? Because I observe or I noticed that the word you being say it is same from singular to plural. Yes, you're right. Because in role number two, remember, my dear viewers, in most cases that some nouns have plural forms, but they have the same spelling as their singular form. Okay? So that is how you're going to form when it comes to irregular nouns. In doing this, try to follow our roles in forming from singular to plural form of nouns. That's why don't be confused that there are some nouns that when we form their plural, both singular and plural has the same. So it's nothing to worry about this class, but you need to master their roles in forming singular to plural forms when it comes talking about irregular plural forms of nouns. What are the roles in forming the plural of irregular nouns? Irregular plural nouns are nouns that do not become plural by adding s or es, as most nouns in the English language do. You're probably familiar with many of these already. Remember, my dear viewers, for example, the plural form of man is men, not mans. Absolutely, class, when you write man, the plural form of man is mans, that is not S form of the verb. We're talking about how you're going to identify or form the irregular plural form of nouns. Your answer is absolutely incorrect. Why? You did not follow the rules in forming the irregular form of nouns from singular to plural form. The plural form of woman, class, is women, not womans. Why? Because the singular form of woman and the plural form, when it comes in irregular, they change their spelling entirely. That becomes women, not women. Is that clear? Again, irregular plural nouns are nouns that do not become plural by adding s or es, as most nouns in the English language do. You're probably familiar with many of these already for our example, but take note, class, you have to follow our roles in forming irregular plural forms of nouns. Now we are going to present what are irregular nouns and examples. Again, an irregular plural noun is a noun that becomes plural in a way other than adding s or es to the end. For example, an irregular noun like mouse changes into the plural noun mice. Another example is the noun thief, which becomes thieves when there is more than one robber involved in a heist. That's what you call a very clear explanations, my dear students. Again, example of thief, noun, which is a singular form, which becomes thieves when it comes in plural forms. Why? When there is more than one robber involved in heist in that particular accident. That is how we are going to form from singular to plural forms of nouns. Isn't that? We are going to present you another topic. I will give you the tips for understanding irregular nouns. It's very easy for you to understand, my dear viewers or students. But take note, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are new here to my channel, Ramz Tutorial Educational. Now, we're going to proceed to tip number 1. If the noun ends in us or as, we change the ending to I to make an irregular plural noun. Okay? To make an irregular plural noun. For example, a biologist might compare the nuclei of several different cells rather than a single nucleus. So remember, nuclei is a singular form, then the plural form is what you call a nucleus. It's talking about biologists. This is science, an example of this sentences class on how we're going to form nouns and in us, remember that, then change the ending to I to make an irregular plural form of noun. Or, when you graduate from high school, you are considered as alumnus. But everyone in your graduating class as a group would be referred to as alumni, right? So take note of that word from singular to plural. So remember, in forming irregular class nouns, they generally change their spelling form. But in most cases, there are some nouns also, when they form their singular to plural, it's both same spelling, same pronunciation, but different functions and uses of these. Next, let's proceed to tip number 2. Here are some other example or important tips to help you, my dear viewers, to understand irregular nouns easily. Tip number 2, if nouns end in F or FE, we change the ending to VES to make an irregular plural nouns. For example, a single leaf may fall from the tree in your front yard, but there are still several leaves attached to the tree's branches. So from leaf, singular, to become plural, we add es. That's leaves. Why? Because the noun ends in F or FE, it might be you are going to add VES. So from leaf, leaves. Or a chief may have several knives in his kitchen. Again, or a chef may have several knives in his kitchen, but he has one particular knife that he prefers to use most often. Unfortunately, there are some exemptions to this rule, my dear viewers. For example, the plural of chief becomes chiefs, not chiefs. Remember that. Remember these exemptions so that they do not trip you up in your writing. So take note of this. Tip number 2. Let's proceed. Another important tips is tip number 3. If the noun ends in um or on, change the ending to a to make an irregular plural noun. For example, there's a difference between witnessing one natural phenomenon and several natural phenomena. Take note of these, my dear viewers. So that's a little big difference about these words. Phenomenon and phenomena, from singular to plural forms of irregular nouns. In the picture below, class, a town is being hit simultaneously by both a tornado, a bolt of lightning, or two natural phenomena. That is tip number 3 again. If the noun ends in um or on, we change the ending to a to make an irregular plural noun. Here are another ways to understand easily. Tip number 4. Some nouns change vowels when they became irregular plural nouns. For example, the names of several animals change vowels in their plural form, such as mouse, mice, or goose, geese. Likewise, one man joined by another becomes two men, while one woman becomes two women in the plural form. Isn't that? And that is how you are going to what you call change from singular to plural using irregular plural forms of nouns. Next, my dear viewers, we're going to proceed to tip number 5 on what are those. Some nouns do not change at all when they become irregular plural nouns. Nouns like rice, deer, sheep, or mouse look exactly the same, whether they are in their singular or plural form. Therefore, my dear students, writers have to use other context clause in their sentences just to communicate which form is being used. Give an example, Chiram. Yeah, for example, Suzanne had her name written in a grain of rice at last week's fair. What is a grain of rice? So for example, class, when we eat rice, so for example, when we cook that, we are able to figure out that the singular form of rice is being used in this particular sentence because the singular form of the regular noun green, it gives us that glow. Remember that. Again, tip number 5, class, to easily understand on how you are going to form singular to plural using irregular plural nouns. Some nouns do not change at all when they become an irregular plural nouns, my dear students and my dear viewers. Hope you understand our video tutorial today, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell icon so that you're updated on our latest video tutorial. Once again, good day and so long, class. See you in my next video. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.